come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I got something very special for you tonight. That's right, I got something for you to laugh about. I got something for you to cry about. And I got something for you to throw your head up and scream in the sky about. You know what I'm saying? All right. Most importantly, I hope y'all have fun tonight. And I hope y'all enjoy this movie.
I've got to tune this guy. Ooh, actually, we might be in luck. That's basically good. And stuff like that. But that's pretty much all I do. Campfire chords, messing around. I've learned a couple little video game soundtrack songs. If you know The Last of Us. Right first try.
Dude, that's actually...
Woo! Skateboarding without the board.
So word, man, the first time I met Adam Miller, me and Lindsay came back here to visit her father. And this was not my first trip to Cedar Rapids. I want to say it was my second trip or third trip. I can't remember now, it's a blur. But I go to the park and I go down there and there's this blonde dude doing hippie hops over everything, just everything. Like tray flip hippie hop, backside flip hippie hop, like over the park rail, like every try, and like not bailing, not eating it, just nonchalantly, calmly, no camera, nothing, just for the fun of it, as skateboarding should be, hippie hop and everything. I'm just like, wow, every confiscation you can think of. And I was like, dude, what's your name? He's like, I'm Adam, dude. And I was like, dude, you were insane. Oh, thanks, man. Adam just being the happy Adam that he is.
Adam, if you're listening, what's up? Miss you, buddy. So first time I met Adam, I think I was pretty young, probably like 14, 15. Somebody showed me his backflip clip from years ago, like Tony's Hawks Park, and that was insane. And he can literally skate anything. Like we skated Mila's ramp together, doing the most craziest tricks on this 2-foot mini ramp. He's a really crazy skater, unique skater, I would say. Really crazy tricks, stuff that'll blow your mind, but really tech when he needs to get to it. And that's something that a lot of skaters don't have. Yeah, I was like, wow, I mean, like, there's a bunch of crazy skaters in Iowa, but I was like, backflipping, and then he came out with that backflip manual blunt flip, and I was like, dude, who is he, man? Like, Adam is insane. And then, of course, Mike told me he was gonna be on the team, and I was like, I don't see him anywhere else. Like, he's doing flips, like, he has that unique part of skating, but like when I said, like, he can get tech, like flip in, flip out, like, and then he's like, oh, I'll do some crazy, like some flamingo grab trick, and it's like, dude, where did you come from, man?
All right, so yeah, I don't know Adam too personally, but we skated a decent amount of times, and it's always a lot of fun skating with him, and he's super creative, just as out the box and out there as his ideas are. Like, they're always really skillful. Like, it's always something that's really impressive in some sort of way. And he just seems like a pretty rad dude. Awesome to be on the sesh with him. He does a lot of like acrobatic stuff, which I like. It's fun to watch, and I just love seeing skaters just like use their like gifts and use what they have. Like, you don't necessarily have to be like super good at certain types of skating, but you just pull the strings that that go for you?
First met Adam at a contest at Edge Skate when it was just at the old location, the one by the bridge, and it was only just like a mani pad contest and like a flat rail, and just out in the parking lot. But seeing him and what he was doing just then was like amazing. Oh, he was definitely on the short list of people that I wanted to get on the team. I skated with Adam before I started developing the team, and I like his attitude. Like, he's very talented. Obviously, everyone is gonna say that, but the way that his process is very unique. He talks to himself. He makes that adjustments like in his head of what he needs to do with his body and his board. It was actually really awesome because he reached out to Adam, of course, and Mike didn't want any bad blood, and I only started Push just to like be a stepping stone for a lot of people, and that was like a dream come true when like Adam got picked up by somebody else. Or for him to see Adam skate at one of the Des Moines Opens, and then like he won a few of the street contests there. It was rad to see them both interact together and like really get to meet and like skate together. It's like he just attacks everything, and he could just turn any spot into like a really like filmable, clippable moment. Adam's always been a super nice guy. Like, he's really friendly. Doesn't have like the hometown hero mentality that like you'll find at other people's cities and parks. Very down to earth, very humble, and yeah, great skater. Better friend.
I'm Adam Miller. I'm 31 years old, and I've been skating for about 20 years, pretty much the entire time here in Eastern Iowa. When I really got started was because of a friend in high school that gave me a copy of Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and I saw the like clips at the beginning, and you've got like Tony Alvin, Bob Burnquist, and Mullen and Mike V are in there, and mainly because I saw Mullen and Mike V, I eventually went to the skate shop in Lindale Mall, Extreme Sports, and the first two videos I ever got were Drive, which is a little skateboard documentary series by Mike V, and Almost Round 3, which I would say is my favorite skate video, because Rodney Mullen and Mike Vallely. And to this day, I think those two things like inspired me to really skate and never want to quit. So when I'm not skating, I mean, a lot of the time I'm watching shows or playing video games or hanging out with this guy. But like going to a lot of like concerts. There's not a lot that come through Iowa, but when there are, or when they go to Chicago, doing that a lot. I play guitar. It's been a little while since I've done that, but I do love that. I've got a bunch of ukuleles that I play here and there, trying to learn how to play piano. Can't do that at all though. I'm interested in like, I don't know, nature hikes, things like that. Along with that, I've been really into like nature photography the last couple of years, and at 30 years old, pretty much a midlife crisis, I got into birding, of all things. And so I can ID all the birds that are in our backyard like all the time now. And a lot of native plants. That's been a relatively new hobby of mine. My name is Ilarius in the D&D campaign. It's been fun. It's a whole group of skateboarders.
What's your race and class?
I think I'm a half elf? Gosh, I can't even remember. I think I'm a half elf, and I am a rogue. So I am sneaking. I'm constantly joking about how I hide and then shoot, and then hide and then shoot. It's kind of my only strategy. But hey, sometimes it works. A lot of Zelda, a lot of Elden Ring, Dark Souls, things like that. Zelda. Big fan of Harry Potter.
Hey,
Um,
what the heck?
I haven't even opened this up in a while. That's what my hair used to look like? Way back when. That's the Ravenclaw common room. I am an environmental scientist for an engineering firm out of Coralville. It sounds nicer than it actually is. A better term for what I do would probably be a consultant, and just like construction. But it's still environmental work, but it's like any sort of construction or industrial site has different regulations, and they have people that they hire to go out there, and I'm that guy. Checking the water, checking the soil, whatever it is that they need us to do. So, top 3 favorite movies. Third place is a maybe third place. I couldn't really choose, but Dead Poets Society, Robin Williams. Very sad, but very good, very inspiring. Second is The Darjeeling Limited. It's a Wes Anderson film. Owen Wilson, who else is in this? Jason Schwartzman, those guys. I wouldn't call it a twist, but there's a part near the end. The film has a certain style to it, and then all of a sudden, just completely shifts, and it shifts in this really dramatic way, and I love it. And then my favorite movie ever is animated from Studio Ghibli, Grave of the Fireflies. Extremely upsetting, but I think it gives you a really unique perspective on the lives other people might end up living. And I just like having that perspective. But those are my top 3. Napoleon Dynamite's a good one too. Classic from my childhood is Mayday Parade, a lesson in romantics. A little too like teenage dramatic for me now, but I loved this album so much as a kid. It's still got to be in my top 3. It's too good. Tiny Moving Parts, Pleasant Living. This one, I like this album so much. On a drive back from Denver, I listened to this album on repeat the entire way back. I did not switch the album once. It was like 12 hours straight of the same, like 12 songs, yeah. And I didn't get bored of it. I love it that much. And then top album is probably Death Cab for Cutie, Transatlanticism. This is just beautiful. It's classic. It's great. Everything about it is amazing. And they're doing a 20-year anniversary tour soon, and they're going to play through the whole thing, and I'm so excited for it.
Memory of Adam would probably be a contest back in 2012 in Evansdale. I mean, even back then, just this gnarly dude just out of nowhere, had no idea. Everybody in a non-skate community would always tag me in a video of him doing the backflip over the stairs. And they're like, why can't you do that? And that's like, hey, joke's on you. I know that guy. The stuff I've seen him do, and from here on out, I mean, he is just so underrated. The skate community is just absolutely sleeping on that poor guy.
The dude is a very original skater, very creative with the skateboarding. You know, he's cut from the same like guild as like, you know, your Richie Jacksons, your William Spencers, you know, guys of that nature. But he's also got that flair of like your really technical masters like Shane O'Neill. He's also got the stunt factor too, like, you know, your handrail junkies, you know, your Jamie Foy, stuff like that, you know, whatever, insert your favorite handrail skater, Jamie Thomas, Pat Duffy. It's always a pleasure to watch Adam skate. He's always a really amazing, unique soul, and I love his energy, and I love the fact that like he's so passionate about his skating. The guy's a genius, you know, he's a great skater. I got nothing but love for the guy. It doesn't matter what genre or what fabric of skateboarding he decides to dance in, he always excels at it. You know, you're a kid working at a fucking grocery store. He was literally working at a grocery store, right? Like how many dudes you know can like, how many guys do we know can do a nose grind, nollie laser flip out like he did at Nixon School, and also can 50-50 double can rail, but don't have any sponsors? Someone fucking explain that to me. Like, motherfucker, you were born to fucking skate. Like, you were genetically modified to skate. Like, some fucking farmer in Iowa hybridized some corn product that was in Alburnett that you fucking ate, and it turned into the superhuman fucking morphed out mutant motherfucker that you are, and you were made to skate. You shouldn't be doing all this other bullshit. Like, your job should have been just shredding the fuck everything in your path. You know, you should be, you know, on covers, not fucking in coveralls.
This broken half of a toy machine that I rode that is signed by, it's kind of hard to see, but Josh Harmony here and Lee Romero. I actually saw Josh Harmony. He has an acoustic guitar act, and saw him in Illinois one time. Got this signed, and I think I got it signed by Lee Romero during the State Gold premiere in Des Moines. I would assume that's when I got it. It was sometime around then. First skate shop I ever went to, where I picked up my first board, all that stuff. And they had this Tony Hawk signed deck hanging up on the wall the whole time I'd been going there. And when they went out of business, my mom actually went in and bought this for me for Christmas. The very first graphic from Street Plant when he moved to Iowa, just hyped that I got one of these because he's probably got more of them, but I think they were pretty limited when they first came out. He sold them real fast. Got the Des Moines skyline there in the state. That's gonna be a wall hanger for the rest of my life. My very first skate mag ever, November 2006. Chris Sen. Pads for extremely sorry. Got this one, another Mike V cover, Transworld from '94, a little bit before I was born, 6 months before I was born. 25th and 30th anniversary issues of Transworld, signed by Tony on both of those. Lots of Tony Hawk stuff, as usual. Got the Trashin' Best Line Trophy. That was given to me by Richie Jackson. Richie sent me a message on Instagram about Trashin'. It just looked really jank. It looked kind of fake to me, so I thought it was spam, that he got hacked or something, because it was advertising like win money and all this stuff, and so I just assumed probably not real. Didn't respond at all, and then like a month later, he just messaged me. I was at work, and he was just like, "So are you interested? You want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Let's give it a go." I had no idea. Didn't know any of the details. He's just like, "All right, here's your day. If you can make it out to LA, try to be here for it." I rolled up the day before, and it was just a bunch of Instagram skateboarders that were there. Michi Meech was there. I'm trying to think who else was there the first day, but no pros or anything. And then the day that I was in, rolled up, and Jordan Maxham and Dave Baczynski were there skating in this thing. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Not what I expected. But it was quite the experience. It was really cool getting to skate with Richie and with William Spencer and those guys.
I think the first time I seen Adam was at a contest in 2012 in Evansdale. He was doing some fucked up stuff. He launched off the spine and Spider-Man on the fence, and I was like, what in the hell is going on? I filmed him at that contest, and I remember he was stressing really hard if he didn't land something, and I was like, damn, this fool's intense. The first time I ever like met him and skated with him was in 2014 or 2015. I came down here. We skated at the Earthquake Bump, and I filmed him do a bunch of stuff there. Pretty much ever since then, I've been seeing him around. I see him, at shows and stuff, and he's cool shit. I love the guy. He's an awesome human being. Yeah, he is insane. That's pretty much the only way I can think of it. He's just an insane person, but he is very, very kind and awesome and cool, and yeah. He's a solid dude, A+. I wish I filmed and skated with him more, but I live like an hour and a half away, so it's kind of hard.
Holy shit!
Certain skateboarding makes me feel a certain way. And it's just kind of this initial, like, what gets me excited. And I think it's something to do with the repetitiveness of it too. I've seen a lot of people do tray flips down stuff. I've seen a lot of people do front side flips down stuff. I've seen a lot of people kick flip onto handrails. You see it all the time. And doesn't mean that any of that has lost its ability to be inspirational or be impressive. Definitely doesn't diminish any of that, but it doesn't get me excited nearly as much as like a weird hippie jump trick or seeing someone do some sort of a handstand finger flip or doing Casper slides or whatever it is, something that's just not your everyday. So it takes a lot to really see somebody that makes me think, wow, that's different. There's that guy, Japanese Super Skate Rat or something on Instagram. I don't know if you know him, but his part was one of the only ones recently that is really like, he had a part on Thrasher that the whole thing was different. Every trick he did for like 5 minutes was something I've never seen before. And I just love the feeling I get from seeing that. And so I want to try to do the same thing. I want to try to give off that same inspiration that those tricks give me when I see them. I just personally get more excited when I see somebody who's pursuing it for the creative and artistic aspect of it rather than the skill part of it. It just gets me more excited to go skate.
Being this dude that was, already well known worldwide, even at that point, he had that viral video of the backflip. It was great having him in the shop because, you get kids would come in and be like, recognize him from the video or whatever and fan out. And I think he probably got annoyed after a while with it, but he was stoked, at least probably the first 2 times it happened at least.
Yeah, I 100% remember seeing the backflip on the ride channel. Didn't know it was him at the time or that he was from Iowa, and then found out later. And then, yeah, he recently posted something about, he did it again, I saw at Hollywood, and I told him, I was like, you gotta do it in the streets, and then he sent me the clip right away. He already did one in the streets, so I was like, damn, I guess he already got that covered.
After meeting Adam and seeing him skate, and like knowing that he used to do gymnastics and stuff, that just totally makes sense that he can do that. That's his wheelhouse. But that backflip is fucking gnarly. and
he did it again 10 years later?
Yeah, down to the Hollywood set. Yeah. And that set is long. And there is not as much runway as you want it to be for that, for especially doing that trick there.
I watched a lot of William Spencer growing up, so I saw him do that flip down the stairs at the Denver, downtown Denver. I've actually been there before. One of the first times I ever went to Colorado, I asked my dad if we could stop by the stair set that he front flipped down. That was before the backflip. So I was already a huge fan of his type of skateboarding. He was definitely the first person to do it. And I was always just racking my brain like, what could I do? What could I do that's similar to that? His ender is a front flip from one board to another. Exactly the same idea as my backflip, except he stands kind of like racer, skateboarder kind of stance, and then he does a little front flip from one board over a fence, so the fence stops the board, and then onto another board at the bottom. And I was like, I could probably do that, but how could I do it differently? And so I just started playing with the idea of doing a backflip off a skateboard. I would just like stand with my board without the wheels on it and just try to backflip off of it to see how it felt. It was pretty good. To make more sense of this for some people, I did gymnastics for like 5 years. So I already had that type of skill set. So eventually I went out with my filmer at the time, Mike Duthler, and we went to F&M Bank off of First Avenue. There's a really nice drop from the parking lot of whatever the business is behind it down to the F&M Bank parking lot, and there's a big curb. So the idea was flip off the board, have it hit the curb so it doesn't follow me down the gap and then land on another board. Tried that, just jumping down the gap a couple times, and then we put a deck down, see if I could consistently land in one spot, and then eventually got it there. And then a couple months later, got sent out in my Sponsor Me tape that Nate Sherwood sent out to some people. He sent it to Tony Hawk personally, and Tony responded, and they wanted to use it. The craziest thing about it was the first day of the whole week of trying the backflip, I walked into Ride Channel is what they called it then. I mean, I think it's just like where his half pipe is, just his warehouse. And walked in, and as I'm walking through the doors, he's doing like a run on the half pipe. And then he like slides down on his knees, and then he walks up to me and he like shakes my hand. And he's like, "I loved your video." Still to this day, that was like one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me.
A situation happened where Tony Hawk and the Ride Channel really wanted this clip of him doing a backflip from his Sponsor Me tape. The gentleman that filmed the backflip would not sell it to the Ride Channel for $500. One clip, $500. Literally, Cameron Sanchez, Tony Hawk, and Jared that run the Ride Channel are like, yeah, we want to pay this filmer $500 for this clip. Like, we think it could go somewhere. And the filmer refused. So Adam's like, I'll just fly to California and replicate it. And like, we go, just go to the Ride warehouse, and he just pulls it. Like, I don't remember, it didn't seem like it was that long. He did it, and then that video goes viral. He gets like 3 million some views or whatever. Could look at it now. I don't know how many millions it's up to. And like, again, he's like on Good Morning America and shit.
I remember seeing Adam, but like being scared to talk to him, because like the stuff he was doing was like so out of my league impressive that I was like, oh, this guy is not gonna be like the nicest guy in the world, when in reality he was like the nicest guy in the world and would always be willing to like talk to you, help you out. Like, it was incredible to see how great of a person he was. And like the stuff he was doing was insane. And I think on social media, the response was always, what the fuck? Like every time people just couldn't, I can't understand what he does. And I think a lot of people can't either. And I think the biggest clip that I saw was when he dropped in on the big side, did a backflip over the spine, into manual, into blunt, and did he kickflip out of that? Yeah. Like, when I look at that park, there was only so much that I could think of what to do. And it felt like anytime I went, Adam was doing something new. He was trying something new, he found something new. So it's, yeah, it is. He is like devoted to skateboarding. And I think watching him skate, like you get inspired, but at the same time you just want to sit and watch. It's like watching a show at the movie, or a movie, Like, you can go out and make a movie, but it's not going to be as good as what you're watching. So I think that sums up Adam. I don't know if you want more.
No, that's perfect.
God damn. He's so good, dude.
Adam's the fucking best in Cedar Rapids. If you got something to say about that, say it to my fucking face. I'll beat the shit out of you.
Alright, I don't know what I gotta say about shit. But no, for real, I mean, he is the boss. He always comes down here and puts down. He doesn't even look like he's trying. And when the day he does tries, it's like everyone just sits down and watches. It's insane.
Mike reached out to me. It was The contest that he hosted. Red Bull was doing this contest series in Des Moines, and there was a kicker ramp wall ride contest, like best trick thing. I ran into Mike V. It was the first time I've met him since he had moved to Iowa. I ran into him at the skate park there, and I was trying ho-ho plants, and I still can't do that trick. And he just told me there, I started skating with him, and he was just like, my main thing with best trick contests is just do what you want to do. Just don't worry about the best trick. Just do as many tricks as you can and just have a good time. So that's what I did, and I landed probably like 30 tricks during that contest. And he reached out to me a few months later asking what my sponsorship ordeal was at the moment, and ended up sending me a couple products, and then later told me that he wasn't really interested in starting a team until the contest, and he saw me skating, and he decided he wanted to start a local team. Yeah, so Mike talked about me having my own board a couple of times. He was just so busy with Black Flag and doing other things, and now he's a grandparent. He's just got all sorts of stuff going on right now. So I think his main focus has just shifted. But at the time, he was interested in that. Yeah, there was going to be a board. He even got a shape just for me for a while in their last production. And I still have one somewhere. It's in the basement, I think. But he asked what size I wanted, what kind of concave I wanted. He had all these different designs, and I could pick out what I wanted. So that was really cool to get to do that.